Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of NSG Plays. It's my Let's Play version of the show where it's more laid back and I just talk about the game as I play it and other stuff. And today I'm going to play Pole Position 2 on your Atari 7800 Pro system. Doing this for a high score challenge over at Atari.io. So I'm playing on my Pro system, of course. And I'm doing too much talking. I may have to redo this so I can get a better lap time. So we are doing a high score challenge for each of the 4 tracks. Just the lap time, not the score. And I guess this is just the qualifying run, so it doesn't matter. Or is this the actual thing? I guess I don't qualify. I forgot. No, I think I do qualify. It's been a while since I played Pole Position 2. Yeah, it was just a qualifier, so that's okay. Pole position. All those points. So there's going to be winners for each track from the way I understand it, but you have to complete the track, and it's just based on time. But I don't know if anyone's going to complete the 4th track. The 4th track is insanely difficult, and I already kind of messed up my time right there. Not used to playing and talking. This is the second one of these I've done. The first one was a Patreon exclusive. I played Towering Inferno for the Atari 2600. So if you're a Patreon supporter and you haven't seen it, go ahead, check it out. And look at me do awful. I'm definitely going to redo this again. Pole Position 2 for a packing game. If you followed my podcast, see my reviews, you probably already know, did not care much that they chose this for a packing game. Overseas in Europe, you had asteroids built into the machine. That was a better choice. Personally, I think you needed Ms. Pac-Man out of all the original titles that came out when the system first came out to really have an effect. You know what the cars remind me of? Don't know if you ever seen, you know what, I'm just going to pull to the side of the road and restart this. I don't know if you ever saw the movie, I think it's Top Secret, but there's this part where there's this Ford Pinto, which had this issue where like you could, I guess you could hit it from behind and cause an explosion because of where the gas tank was. And they had this scene in that movie where they just tapped the bumper of a Ford Pinto and it exploded. And that's what these cars remind me of. They just explode at the slightest touch. I like a racer where you can bump into the other guy a little bit. You know, you don't just explode. Not in Pole Position 2. And honestly, I'm not a big racing video game fan. Although I do like the original Pole Position on the 2600 and Enduro. Like Rad Racer on the NES. 7800, if you want a racer, you should try Motor Psycho. It's set up a lot like Pole Position, but the graphics are better and the racing's better. Again, this isn't a bad game. It's just not, you know, my thing. I'm still going to try and participate in this high score squad. You know, when you do a high score challenge, it really helps the enjoyment of the game. Enhance it. It really does. So if any of the guys from Atari.io are listening, hi Justin, hi Rick, hi Greenween, hi Chase, hi BTB. Who else has been doing Starbuck, Trek? I'm trying to think who else has been doing the high score challenges. See, I'm doing a lot better now. I do like the backgrounds in these games. Of course, this one's the most basic, if you will, but I don't mind the mountains in the background. The kind of sand mountains in the pyramid. Oh, whew. Extended play. And that's how you pass if you have to. Lost some time there. So I'm going to record this first one. I might do more later, but I just want to do like a kind of a let's play thing. Extended play. Whew, that was a close one. What's interesting is your lap time is really your track time. You know, I think lap, I think, you know, one go around, and they're doing like the whole thing. Going 255 miles an hour on the test track in Egypt, I guess, because there's pyramids. Maybe Orlando, Florida, they have a lot of kind of like, you know, theme stuff going on. Touristy stuff. I could see them making an Egypt land thing. One thing that this version could have used was an on-screen map. Course map, so you could see when turns were coming up. Alright, that's the first track. Passing bonus, I really don't care. I got my lap time 26 or 276.14. Probably could do better. I might try and do better another time. Alright, let's see what's next. Let's go to Fuji. Let's qualify. It does have a good squilling sound. Now, as most of you know, the sounds from the 7800 for the vast majority of the games are based on Atari 2600 sounds. They're using the same sound chip as the 2600 used. So if you heard this in a 2600 game, you would have been amazed. Like, wow, that sounds really good. Well, they just got better at using the sound chip. I should qualify. So I'm position 7. Which means I have to work around a lot of cars. A lot of Pintos. Let's see if I can do this. Oh, I'm not done. I think that was an oil slick I hit. Also looks like water. And there I go. I worked my way to the front. But of course, in pole position, they don't keep track of what place you are throughout the race. Kind of a bummer. That would have been cool. You just pass a bunch of cars. Like, where'd all these cars come from? Like, you start a race. I easily could count, you know, the 8 cars, including myself, around me. And yet there's all these other cars. What's going on? Who in their right mind would allow all these cars on the track? Who puts on this race? This is crazy. This is a safety hazard. Not to mention the oil slicks in the road. I mean, seriously, this is like the worst racing organizers ever. But it's still fun to blow up and play. I'm doing terrible. I will have to do this again later, when I'm not talking at the same time. Pass the mustard car. Get it? Pass the mustard. Yeah, it was a yellow car. And passing, never mind. Oh, I didn't even complete. You know what? I need to try that again. Alright, let's go to Fuji again. Of course, some people call the Atari logo the Fuji symbol. So very fitting. Like the blimp. Blimp's alright. What's my favorite racing game of all time? Well, if you count the Road Rash series, Road Rash 2 might be my favorite racing game. Just straight up racing, maybe Daytona USA on the Saturn. I know it had a lot of pop-up, but that was pretty good. A lot of the kart racers are good. Mario Kart, Crash Team Racing. Haven't played Atari karts on the Atari Jaguar 6. It's about what I got last time. Just one better. Oh, pear mustard cars. Oh, when you turn and there's a car, that's just the worst. I love those sounds. Speaking of packing games, you know, the 7800. Oh, I tried. The 7800 came out when the NES was, you know, really the king. I always thought it would be funny. You know, the NES had the popular action set. 2 controllers, light gun, Super Mario Brothers, and Duck Hunt. And I always thought it would have been funny if Atari tried to copy that and released a 7800 action set with 2 joysticks, the light gun, which only came with the computer. They never packed it in with the 7800, but it did work with the 7800. And they could have, you know, instead of Super Mario Brothers, they could have put in regular Mario Brothers, which admittedly is not near as good as Super Mario Brothers, but just to be kind of funny. And maybe put in, like, I don't know, Barnyard Blaster. That's like probably the closest thing to Duck Hunt. I mean, there's only a small handful of light gun games. Or Crossbow would have been good, but that's not like Duck Hunt. But just kind of tried to copy Nintendo. That would have been funny. The 7800 Pro System action set. In Australia, oh, there was nowhere to go. In Australia, the 7800 got packed in with a multi-cart that had a bunch of Atari 2600 games on it, like 32 2600. Oh, they're hogging the road. You gotta love that. And I'm trying to remember. I think the way you selected games was you put the game in the system and either... Oh, look how close I was to the thing. So I didn't even qualify. That's okay. Let's go on to the third track. I think you had to like press the reset button or something to switch games. Very clumsy. And it wasn't really a 7800 game. It was a 2600 game just labeled for the 7800. Still would have been cool to have. I really dig compilation carts. Nice background here. This might be a course where I pop into low gear at some point to help me navigate the turns. I know I do that sometimes. Oh man, I am just doing awful. It's late at night. I'm tired. I haven't played this game in a long time. But I'm going to try. Look at all these. Let's go in low for a minute. See if that helps me. Okay. Finished. I got 8th. Ha! Well, I qualified. Look at that. That's pretty good driving right there. Man, oh my goodness. Oh, I thought I was going to get in front of them. And there goes my time. I'm not going to make it. I'm doing awful. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I'm not used to playing and talking at the same time. Alright, let's try the last track and then I'll call it a night. Suzuka. Really like the carnival or theme park in the background on this track. Look at just the curves. Oh, I thought I would get by him. Once again, 8th place. I don't think I've ever completed this race. I've completed a lap, and that was like a big thing for me, just to complete a lap of it, but maybe even completed 2, but I do not think I've finished this. Okay, well, we got through the first pack. Kind of using the sides almost as a way to slow down, you know, instead of braking. Man, just all that noise. This is a noisy game. Keep riding the side. Just don't run into a sign. Look at that. That's how you use the edges. Of course, if I was better, I probably wouldn't... Oh! I probably wouldn't need to use the edges. Hey, I made a lap. I just realized. Yay. But since I crashed, I don't know if I have enough time to complete. No. Alright, well, thanks for listening to me playing Pole Position 2. Check out the forums at Atari.io if you want to take part in this challenge. It's going through the month of August 2018. And I'll see you guys next time.